Well, hello. And before we get going, I'm going to bring this back up and hopefully you can still hear me. U.S. militia group draws members from active military and police. Just like Indiana State Police Trooper Tony Slocum, former Boone County Sheriff Michael Nilsen. I looked up to Michael Nilsen as a hero. I was best friends with his now deputy daughter, Taylor. We were in the same grade. We grew up together. My best friend. I looked up to her dad like a hero. Every field trip, you name it, any school event, I knew who my chaperone was going to be. My hero. This is until deputies like Pennsylvania, Deputy Corey Bothello, and fellow militia members like Corey. And the issue I have with their friendships is, like right here you see, these six, there's a reason. Frank Castiello, the BUNDY, the Bundy Ranch standoffs, federally armed standoffs against the state police and federal agents. The Bureau of Land Management agents as well. 3 different times, 3 different federal armed standoffs. Frank Castiello is a founding member of the Constitutional Sheriff's Association, where fellow Deputy Corey Bothello was a member of. While sitting friends with Sheriff Michael Nilsen and Tony Slocum. You want to know what makes me so sick to my stomach? Their friends, they chose. While sitting friends with Tony Slocum and Boone County, Indiana, Sheriff Michael Nilsen, Corey Bothello, for the last 7 years, was raping and molesting multiple times a family member, hiding behind the thin blue line, blue protecting blue, and when deputies, state police, when police and active military swear a secondary oath to protect their militia, the fellow militia movement, other militia groups, and their members. It's a hidden secondary oath. You remember back when the Ku Klux Klan? Another aspect that I did a very, very hard, damaging role. Me sneaking around, being a mole for the FBI, Indiana's biggest KKK with an extra K Klan group, became one of the biggest not only in the state, but the nation, membership-wise. Remember the hidden empire they were bragging about? These militia members, like Corey Bothello, Tony Slocum, Sheriff Michael Nilsen, the hidden empire, active military, and law enforcement, sitting longtime friends with child rapists, and you don't think they're protecting their fellow militia brothers and sisters, the secondary oath they swore? You think they're not protecting child killers like Brad Holder? Get real. And like I said, there's dozens and dozens of militia members and friends of Tony Slocum, Indiana State Trooper Tony Slocum. If the name hasn't ring a bell with you, look up the Delphi case and Tony Slocum. His name's planted all over that. Just like Jerry Holman. Their friends are known swearing alliances with militias. You've got state troopers, sheriffs, local. I've even found federal swearing a second alliances with these militia groups. And these militia members, just like Corey Bothello, in 2025, a jury found him guilty of all charges. And you think they're not protecting child killers? And you wonder why Brad always and others brought up the fact, I'm not scared. I have friends in high places. They have militia buddies in high places. Elected officials, I've proven to the FBI, there's mayors that got elected that belong to the militia movement, hiding and using that red wave and protecting child rapists like Corey, fellow member, best buddies, longtime friends with Tony Slocum. And these are the friends they chose, the fellow militia members they chose to protect and swear a secondary oath to. Tony Slocum, you are a sick, sadistic piece of shit. And you wondered why? Here soon, you're going to be either let go or suspended without pay, pending a federal investigation that your headquarters down in Indianapolis is asking the feds to come in. And you wonder why. TikTok, the Good Old Boys Club, the fellow militia members are not going to be able to protect you here soon. This hidden empire, and if you haven't read this enough, you have active military, like the Ohio Army individual telling me if I don't shut up about the Lightfoot militia, the American Patriots, AP3%, the same AP3 American Patriots 3% militia group that Shane Meehan, Brad Holder, Amber Holder all belong to, just like Corey Bothello, the child rapist and molester that got life behind bars. But he's a longtime friend and fellow militia member, just like Tony Slocum, a good longtime friend of his. Prove me wrong, Tony. And you don't think they're protecting and hiding, covering people up like Brad Holder, fellow militia member? It wasn't no motorcycle club. It was the Good Old Boys Club that was protecting cartel, their money. That cartel has actually funded many, over decades, political careers, law enforcement, wanting to become sheriffs. It's the same one that got Tony Liggett elected. And these are the friends of theirs. Prove me wrong. I waited till he was found guilty by a jury of his peers and sentenced to life behind bars before I ever spoke up. But I spoke up to the Indianapolis State Police HQ, and I talked to the main motherfucker in charge, Tony. You're about to be facing a federal investigation along with your buddies like Brad Holder and others. And you think that only one person that's sitting behind bars convicted on more than one multiple missing and murdered case. It's about to be acted on as a terrorist organization and terrorists within that terrorist cartel organization, the Good Old Boys Club, that are making millions. And people called me nuts. Remember, Amy? I'm just another Danny Brasco. Hey, Fiend. Nick. Luke Nichols. Luke. Remember you, CJ, and Greeno all laughing, saying my PTSD I got from being raped and molested myself as a child makes me a retard, and you and your friends, and the unraveling name over on Greeno and CJ's pages, joining in on the attacks, and you think I can trust you? I've got the feds outside of Indiana behind me. I don't need any of you. You laughed. You called me a fucking retard. I didn't know what I was talking about. Oh, the social media network analysis goes back to the criminal network analysis, the cartel, this militia that's sitting in my files for years. I've spoke the truth, and so many of you, for content, money, and views. And look at me. Take my shit and run off with it as your own work product. Just like Snarky Sass Angel going in, oh my God, look at the militia this, the militia that. After singing it on my page, acting like you know everything. I just proved each and every single one of you. The same ones who are like R&M, Grandma Lena, Linda's looking Miller. Look in your chats, in your groups. Look back at Shelley Collins and Rick Collins, longtime family friends with Elvis Fields. While the defense was begging for anything, she was in groups with many of you and the content creators, getting access to Carrie Timmons. But remember, I'm just a fucking retard. It was you content creators, Jolene Jody Posley, Jenny Kroom's sister, which is family of Liberty German. Jenny Kroom telling me I need to shut the fuck up if I knew better. If I was to expose her niece and her friends goes back to other missing and murdered cases, Brittany, if I didn't shut the fuck up and if I didn't know what was good for me, she'd make a few phone calls. That recorded phone call. Then how about Jolene Jody trying to send me tip pictures and, oh, trust me, I want justice. Just tell me everything you know. But oh, when it comes to Brittany, it's like Jenny Kroom's like daughter. Oh, give Brittany a break. But her friends going back to missing and murdered cases, and Jenny telling me physically in written threats as well as recorded conversations on the phone. Don't you fucking even dare. Don't you do it. If you know what's good for you, you'd keep your fucking mouth shut. If not, all I have to do is make a few phone calls. You'll regret it. Well, I'm about to expose Brittany and every single one of them. Remember I said in July, fireworks are going to fly? It's not just going to be on my page. I've got feds outside of Indiana. State troopers, elected officials, the Good Old Boys Club protecting this cartel and fellow militia members. TikTok. I didn't need any of these little Good Old Boy clubs on Facebook and these other content creators begging me for all I know where they can go make money and content for views and subs, memberships, while hiding who and where it came from. Criminality. You might want to look into her former business partner, Vanessa Walsh. Her and Vanessa ran a YouTube page together. Vanessa's now sitting over 150 100,000 subs. Criminality chose her best friend, Lainey or Ani. Truth and Transparency, who's got a lifetime protective order against her, against by Vanessa Walsh. That true crime cult, that Criminality sent dozens and dozens of individuals like Kate, aka Pre-Consent, Gambies, many people in waves at me, and it's many of the same names. You thought I never would talk to Vanessa Walsh, didn't you, Criminality? Teresa. You never thought I'd talk to your old business partner, and many of the same names, the true crime cult that says they're for justice. You've been nothing about getting followers, views, memberships, and donations, and all about the money. No matter how many victims you cause, just like Vanessa, your business partner. But yeah, I promise sparks are about to fly. Things are about to hit the fan. And it's not just that. When you have content creators, many of the same names in Vanessa's case that chose her attacker, her harasser, many of the same names you sent after me, Criminality, for all I knew, for content, for your own gain, you and your friends' gain, having Kate send me nudes, and I called her out. So is this how you forced individuals to give up information? And she ran off and getting protected by content creators like Criminality and others and their little cult followers attacking me, saying, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Oh, I'm telling lies. She never fucking did that. It's all about to be coming out yet again in full. So much of a fucking retard, but the feds are about to be acting outside of Indiana. In the federal lawsuit, I'm allowing it where I win. There's going to be families of over 160 missing and murdered cases within Indiana that Michael Curtis, the first agent that was involved in, already in Delphi, my handler. It was a militia group, and their training on Ron Logan's property is what had the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force and my handler already in Delphi. Brad, remember your post and your bragging about walking the Monon, getting railroad ties? You openly admitted that on an American Patriots Indiana Facebook group chat. Now, didn't you? Talking about frequently walking the Monon High Bridge and trails and taking those railroad ties back home to home forge weapons out of that you were then selling to your fellow militia members. Tony, Brad, Jeff Brackett, many, many others that were already sitting in my informant files. Your whole membership list, the contact information that each commanding officer, including me, the medical commanding officer of the American Patriots, Indiana, and National American Patriots 3% militia group. I was the chief medical officer in charge of the medical wing of the American Patriots 3% for years. So look at your commanding officer list, and you wondered how in 2020, when I found out somebody was about to leak and expose many of you for who and what you are, active military and law enforcement, you thought that was bad in 2020. Tony Slocum and many others don't know the federal hell that's about to come to them. TikTok. Not so much of a fucking retard now, am I? Many of you had laughs for years now. Prof and Christine picked it up, ran with it. His PTSD he got from being a child rapist and molested victim for 4 years of my life, from about 4.5 to fucking 9 years old. I was raped and molested for years of my life, and that's where my PTSD, the same PTSD, Kokomo Police Department, ISP, want to use on why, I shouldn't be credible on speaking up on missing and murdered children's cases. I shouldn't be credible for PTSD I got as a child. But like I said, I'm not such a fucking retard now, am I? And the content creators, you're going to see a lot of these ran off federally when they're using internet and social media like YouTube to further attack, harass, intimidate, stalk victims like myself and Vanessa, to continue that in the name of the disgusting disguise of true crime, and we're here for justice. You're here for views and money, content, all it is. And I'm about to federally run you off. Not just that, but when you're attacking, harassing, stalking a federal witness turned federal living victim, just for content, views, and money, under the disgusting disguise, we're here for justice. We're here for the victims. Many of you decided, let's hop on. Let's have a good old time on Criminalities chat like Christine. Then hurried up, and after the live, after I started speaking up about it, let's hurry up and delete that. Let's not show that. Let's not show that. It goes back to what you were doing to Walsh, your part, and your crime cult behind you, all for the name of content and money. Prove me wrong. Unlike Delphi, the Vanessa Walsh stalking harassment, every name involved, the whole court case, I shared a link to. It's about a 2-hour long video. A smaller content creator like myself decided to, from the very beginning to the very end, the charges down to the lifetime protective order, best friends of criminality, truth and transparency. Lainey Orani has a lifetime protective order. Criminality, and many of you, Kate, you name it, you know who you are. You're about to see the same thing on me, but not that. But when there's murders, more than one involved, when you're attacking, your harassment on a federal witness turned federal living victim, I can file each charge separately on each and every single one of you. And when murders are involved, that's 30 years per charge. So I don't have to worry about you on making content and making money, causing more victims here soon. Many of you be facing federal charges. And it sucks that content creators are helping ones like Shelley Collins, Rick Collins, longtime family friends, and best buddies with Elvis Fields. While the defense was begging everybody for information, all you for content was befriending ones like Tina Riddell, giving her and Shelley Collins direct access thanks to Jolene Jody Posley and Jenny Kroom, was allowing direct access to Carrie Timmons. By Tina Riddell, Megan Allen, and if you look up Dustin Allen is who she was married to, she divorced him only in 2023. She was still married to Dustin Allen when she was running around with Kiegan, Kiegan, how Keegan tried saying it, how his name's said, Kiegan, Kalis. That's where Keegan and his dad, Tony, started using Kiegan, Kalis's first name. Oh, that's how you spell my name and say my name. And so many of you act like you knew everything, but use my content, federal witness and living victim, to make money off of, to make content off of. You chose your actions. You chose your path. I didn't. All in the name, just like Vanessa, all in the name of content and money.